Today we're going to talk about the image business, how we make image about our own self, how we create image about others in our own head. We're going to discuss all that in detail. But before getting into those details, it's very important to know, do we really understand the difference between brain and mind? Yeah, I know we have interchangeably used this word for so many years, but are we able to locate where the brain is? Yes, there's a physical instrument just on top in our head. That's called the brain. But then where is mind? Let's get into details and we will find out what is the real difference between brain and mind. Just to put some thought and perspective into it, brain is the physical instrument, whereas mind is where the thoughts originate. The thoughts originate in mind, and then mind passes the signal to brain, and brain passes the signal to body to take action on those thoughts. So action is created from the desire is created from the thought. And we will take this session through on these three lines. The best way to take this through is understanding through an analogy. We all are, used to watching YouTube, but how does the YouTube concept work? So there are some content creators who have one common platform, all the different kind of contents, you name it, from sports to lifestyle to sex, you name it, everything is posted on YouTube. Different topics, different discussions, education, gaming, you name it. All different kind of content creators post their content on one common platform called the YouTube. It's collective. It's not driven by your thoughts. It is just there. It's yet not been bifurcated into your recommendations. It's just a collective platform. It has no regard for time. Anyone, anytime can post anything on it. And, if it exists for another 100 years, we will start calling it eternal. Now, it's very important why I'm driving this analogy. As we move forward, once the YouTube platform exists, what we do is we create a my YouTube out of it. How? We like, subscribe, follow few channels, or we watch certain content repeatedly. Then the algorithm starts throwing us out those recommendations. And then from a collective platform, it has become a very individualized platform, or you call it my YouTube, which is here where the I is born. The I takes a birth in YouTube, where it is you, the individual I. It is purely driven by thoughts. I want to see this, I want to be this, I like this, I dislike this. So it's all driven by that. And it is time bound. Whenever you go watch, you spend time, and sometimes a lot of time, like me, then you are plugged into it and you can plug out anytime. And it is limited. Your content is limited because now you're narrowed down to your scope. My job on this podcast is not to make you understand what is the difference between YouTube as a platform, or what is the difference when you are getting your recommendations. The purpose is different. This is an analogy. Now let's replace this analogy of YouTube with our mind. Now, if you see, just replace the YouTube with your mind. What is YouTube made of? Content creators? The same way your mind is made of content creators. So the content can be your family, your religion, your education system, your law enforcement, weather, food, clothing, genetics, you name it. All of that is loaded on a platform called mind. It is collective, is still not driven by thoughts, it's just there. It's just there. It has no regard for time because for the ages it is getting loaded into it. All the conditionings of the ages have been loaded on it. It seems eternal. And now, here comes my mind. This is where I is born, and that algorithm robot is replaced by something called society. I hope you like the analogy. It's replaced by society. Now, based on the ancestral and ages and cultural liking and disliking, a particular set of society is developed. But the root origination of it is I, mine. I like this. I like my culture to be like this. I like my country. I like my piece of land. And it all starts roaming around that I. From that I, we start forming an image. That image business starts creating society, and society starts throwing back to us what we like, and we keep on enriching it. This is who we are. This is how we are conditioned. I hope the analogy of YouTube helps you understand how our mind really works. Before getting into an example, it is very important to understand that yes, we form images. We look people through that mirror of image that we have created about ourselves, our liking, our dislikes, and what we see through that image. We only see what we like about the others through our image. Okay. However, the image is just not created today. It need to have a society who helped us create that image. It need to have a mind which fed the society. And before the mind, there need to have been the content creators or the conditioning. So, my friend, today, whatever image you have about yourself or about the others that you see through that image is born out of society, your mind, and the years and years and millennials of conditionings created by the different content creators in our life. So stop blaming yourself. Just wake up and have the awareness and realize that I am conditioned. Let's take an example. In a relationship, a young guy and a girl see each other, regardless of the gender. Two people see each other. Then they come in contact, meet for a coffee. There's a touchy-feely feeling kind of thing. And then there's a sensation which is born. You start liking the other person. Remember, it is just a liking at this point of time. You start trying to find a commonality between each other. And here, my friend, we start getting into, and then, while we are having those sensations, our friends, our people around us come along and say, they create an image along with us, which try to say us, imagine how good you both will look like. You are, that every Facebook picture of two people, the best comment is made for each other. The made-believe forced mechanism is there. We are swept by those images that are created for us. And we forget our identity altogether. We forget that we are conditioned. Over a period of time, everything else, those sensations, those feelings, those emotions are left behind. And the desire is born. Desire of what? Desire of, these are my set ways of looking into life, which is I love this way, I hate this way, or I hate this thing, I respect this, I lust this, I fear this, I envy this. One side starts looking into the other person, that on my these filters, where does the other person fit in? And the other side does the same thing. They start looking into the other person through their image they have created over the years of conditioning. Now, what is happening is the two humans are gone out of the whack. They have gone out of the window long time ago. The only thing left now is two images trying to form a commonality. I hope you understand what we are going through right now. You are no more there in the relationship. It's just your image and what is the other person's image that matches with you, and two images are talking. Human relationship has already ended long ago. If not ended, minimized. And suddenly we start seeing relationship developing tension, and we start moving toward either compromise in a relationship, or we start moving towards something more worse, which is infidelity. Or rather, I would say infidelity is any day better than a compromise. We get into the anguish of blame, anger, jealousy, insecurity, complete lack of control. We blame on missing attention. We bring guilt on every time we step out of the house to in another relationship, and then frustration catches up. It's a vicious cycle of frustration and anger which will never end. But we forgot where it all started. The only way to fix this is, when there was a sensation, we need to develop an art of listening. The art of listening that we are talking here is not about the listening to your own image, but listening that I am forming an image. At that point, if you just bring that awareness in you that I should not be carried away by the too much of appreciation coming my way, or I should not be bogged by too much of insult coming my way, but see through the awareness that I am aware. It is just a feeling, it's just a sensation, and I am forming an image in my head through those sensations, and the other person is matching through that image. You might be, through that awareness, you might be able to reduce that image business. That, my friend, might give you some respite in the relationship, and it might bring in some peace. Every time, try it out, every time you get into a conflict, or you are angry, or you're frustrated on something, just sit down for a moment and try to see through. Am I forming, and do I, through my conditioning, years of conditioning, have an image formed in my mind that how I want the other person to be? If many a times it is coming that yes, you're forming an image, then my friend, the correction has to come on your side, not the other side. And that's where two people need to openly discuss this aspect. I hope this session brings some clarity to how brain and mind differ and how we play mind games of creating images. The whole purpose was to make you realize that we have been conditioned for many years, and those conditions have been solidified through societal norms which have been built around us. Right? This session was very important for me to go beyond Gurbani, because when we are in the trap of conditioning, it's very difficult to really understand that what Gurbani is. Right? So this was a side topic. I hope it clarifies. And from here, we'll go back to Gurbani in the next session. And I'm really looking forward to meet you again. Have a wonderful day.